Hello, my name is Arnold and welcome to my YouTube channel Pawn to Pro, where we take it from beginner level interest to advanced level. We continue our series on basic chess concept, and today we'll be talking about stalemate. Stalemate, a very important concept, is very frustrating on those who are winning the game, and it's very tactical for those who are losing the game. So let's dive in. Like, subscribe, and share this video. Let's dive right in. Stalemate. Stalemate is a special situation that occurs when a player's king is not in check, but on his turn, every move he can make could put his king in check. Stalemate is a special situation that occurs when a player's king is not in check, but on his turn, every move he make could put his king in check. You may recall that it's illegal to move your king into check, so the player can make no moves. Since the other player king is not in check, neither player wins the game. This is called this is what we call stalemate. So we'll go through some few demonstrations so that you grasp it. Your king is not in check, but whichever move your king make, your king will be in check. But then there should be no other legal moves beside a king move as well. Here is an example of stalemate. It's white's turn to move. He moves the rook to g2. White has put black in check, but it was still a very bad move for white. Let's continue. Black is in check, so he must get his king out of danger. Black will move his king to h1. Now, in this situation, white makes another mistake. White move his king to f2. It's black's turn, but look at this situation, or look at black's options here. The only moves he can make are either king to h2 or king to g1. Either move, either move could put black king in a check, which is illegal. Since black cannot move, but it is not in check, the game is stalemate. Black was very lucky. Instead of a loss, he got a stalemate, which is considered a draw. In this situation, Black cannot make any legal moves. And he's not in check. Notice black cannot make any other illegal move and he's not in check. So this is a stalemate. And black got a draw from this game as well as white. So as I said in the beginning, stalemate is very frustrating for the person who should have been winning and very tactical for those who should have been losing. So in this game, white was up a rook and he got a draw, which is very frustrating on white's part. So to get a stalemate, there should not be any other illegal moves by other pieces on the board, and the king is not in check, and the king cannot make any other illegal move, any legal moves. So there are no legal moves for black, other pieces legal moves, and black king don't have any legal move, and it's not in check. So let's look at how white could have won a game. We'll take the game back and see how white could have won this game. So you see where start moving his rook to g3, and the only legal move for black was king to h1. Now in this situation, white plays rook to h3 check. Again, black moves to only legal move of black is g1. Now here is a tricky part. White needs to waste one move so that black will be forced into a desired position. We call it delay move. So white will move his rook to h4 or h5, and then black will be forced to move to f1, and now white can use the rook to h1 checkmate. Rook h4, black can I move here, so he moved to f1 checkmate. There are no legal moves for black here, and black is in check, so this is a checkmate. This is not a stalemate. Black is in check and you don't have any legal moves. A good chess player needs to keep an eye out for both checkmate and stalemate. If you work only to if you work only at placing your opponent's king in check, he might slip a stalemate past you. And as I said, stalemate is very frustrating for the player who's ahead in a game or who's ahead a piece in a game. But very tactical for the player who is down a piece or down in a game. So let's go over more drills to grasp the concept of stalemate, which is very important. In this drill, is white in stalemate. This is the white king on h6. This is a black king. Rook, black rook, controlling the g file. And it's white king to move. White king cannot move to g6. Why? you'll be in check. White king cannot move to h7 or g7 because two kings cannot meet. And the white pawn cannot move. So this is a stalemate position. So yes, white in a stalemate position because white turn to move. Is white in stalemate? Now let's look at the position. The white king, there are no legal moves for the white king. And it's white turn to move. Are there other legal moves for white on the board besides the king move? Yes. White can move his pawn to a3 or a4. So this is not a stalemate position. Why? Because white have other legal moves on the board. Is black in stalemate? Now there's a black king. There are no legal moves for the black king. But are there other legal moves of black pieces on the board? Yes, black pawn can move this way. So this is not a stalemate for in this position. This is not a stalemate for black because black have other legal moves. In this setup, is black in stalemate? Let's see. This is black king. This is black pawn. Black king is being checked. The king cannot move to d8, neither to d7, and the black pawn cannot move. But the situation is that the black king can capture the piece that is checking him. So this is not a stalemate position because the piece that is checking him is not protected. So the black king can capture the queen on f7. So this is not a stalemate position. Is white in stalemate? When we talk about stalemate, you look at the king first. The king, there are no legal moves for the king. Are there other legal moves for the white pieces? Yeah, a knight. A knight can move. So this is not a stalemate position. Knight can move to c2 or b3. This is not a stalemate position. In this setup, is black in stalemate? Let's watch the position. There are no legal moves for black king. Are there legal moves for black other pieces? Let's check the pawn. Can the pawn move to b6 or b5? No. Why? Because it's being pinned by the bishop of f3. So this is a stalemate position. This is a stalemate position because the white king do not have any legal move. The black king do not have any legal move. The black pawn cannot move as well because it's pinned. So the black king is in a stalemate position. In this setup, is white in stalemate. The white king, there are no legal moves for the white king. The g1 square is under attack by the black bishop on b6. So there are no legal moves for the white king. Are there other legal moves for the white king? Besides other pieces, legal moves, yes. This pawn can capture this pawn. So this is not a stalemate position. This is not a stalemate position because black and white can capture the pawn c6. So there are other legal moves for white besides king. So this is not a stalemate position. In this setup, is black in stalemate? This is the black king on d4. No legal moves this way. No legal moves, no legal moves, no legal moves, no legal moves, no legal moves. Can black pawn move as well? No. So this is a stalemate position because there are no legal moves for the black king as well as the black pawn. So this is a stalemate position. In this setup, is white in stalemate? Let's check the white king legal moves. No, 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 no. So there are no legal moves for the white king. Let's check the white pawn. It's unable to move, and the bishop. So now white is in a stalemate position here. Because there are no legal moves he can make with either his king or his pieces. So this is a stalemate position. In this setup, is black in stalemate? Let's check. The black knight cannot move because it's pinning to the king. The pawn cannot move. The black pawn cannot move because it's blocked by the white king. Now let's check the black king. Are there legal moves of the black king? Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, yes. The black king can move to g8. So you have a legal move g8. So this is not a stalemate position. This is not a stalemate position. In this setup, is white in stalemate? Let's check the white king. The white king cannot move. There are no legal squares for the white king to move to. And the white pawn cannot move as well. But this is not a stalemate. Why? Because the white king is under check from the knight. The knight is checking the white king. So this is not a stalemate. A stalemate comes about when you are not in check, but then you don't have legal move. But when you are in check and don't have legal move, that's mate, checkmate. So this is not a stalemate, this is a checkmate. In this setup, is white in stalemate? Let's check white legal moves or no. Why? Because the queen is protecting the g3 square here. No, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no, no, yeah, no. So white had a half a square to move to e3. So this is not a stalemate. King move to e3. King e3. This is not a stalemate situation. In this situation, for a black king, it is a mate. One, two, a stalemate, or can black still move? This is a black king. He's on a check on the rook on h1. It is situation a mate, a stalemate, or can the black king still move? This is a checkmate position. Why? The black king is on a check, and there's no legal moves for him. There's no legal move here. There's no legal move here, and then he's on a check. So this is not a stalemate. This is a checkmate position. In this situation, it is a mate, a stalemate, or can white still find a move? Let's check. The white king, there are no legal move for the white king, and the white king is not on a check. So this is a stalemate position. This is a stalemate position. There are no legal moves for the white king. So this is a stalemate position. In this situation, is this mate, stalemate, or can black still move? The black king is on a check, so he can move. But then the black bishop can capture the rook that is doing the check on c8. So this is not a mate, this is not a stalemate. Black can still move. So this is not a mate and this is not a stalemate position. So what will be black move? Rook is checking the king. So black moves. In this situation, is this a mate, a stalemate, or can black move? So this is not a checkmate. Why? Because the black king is not on a check. This is not a stalemate. Why? Because black have all of the move beside the king. So what would be black move? Boom. A5. In this setup, is this a mate or stalemate, or can white still move? Knight, no. King, no. Pawn, no. So in this situation, this is a stalemate position because there are no legal moves for white king and his pieces. So this is a stalemate position. In this setup, is this a mate or stalemate, or can black still make a move? Now there's a black king. It's being checked by the bishop on g2. And the rook is controlling the b file. The black king cannot move to b8, neither to a7 because it's being blocked by its own piece, the pawn on a7. This looks like a checkmate, but then if you look keenly, there's a move for black. Can you spot it? Can you spot the move for black? t5. In this setup, is this mate, still mate, or can white still move? Let's check. The white king don't have any legal move. Other legal moves from the white pieces, the pawn no, pawn no, pawn no, pawn no. So this is a stalemate because there are no legal moves for the king and there are no legal moves for white other pieces. So this is a stalemate position. In this setup, it is a mate, stalemate, or can black still move? Check the black king. There are no legal moves for the black king. Is this a stalemate, or can black still move? Can you spot the move for black? Can you spot the move for black? What is black move? b2. In this setup, is this a mate, a stalemate, or can black still move? The black king don't have any legal square to move to, and the black king is under check. So this is not a stalemate. This is a checkmate position. Why? The king is under check and there are no legal moves for the king. So this is a checkmate position. The last drill, is this a mate or stalemate, or can white still move? The white king is under check from the bishop on g7. Can he move to b1? No. Why? Knight is attacking this square, the b1 square. Can you block it? Can you make any move to block the check? Knight cannot move the pawn, cannot move the queen, cannot get the rook, cannot get it. So this is a checkmate position. This is a checkmate position. Thanks for going through the video with me on stalemate, a very important and crucial concept on your chess journey. Join me next time as we continue our basic chess concept. We'll be talking about openings. Like, subscribe, and share this video. See you next time.